some Grammy Award winners, some mega popular people on this show, so there has. Yep. That says live on YouTube. So I have to mute that because it goes live in front of my eyes there.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, I see that. Meeting is now streaming live.
Right, so that's just the live version. No one really does stuff live, but we do. So now we'll start I'll start the main recording in 2 seconds. 1, 2, let's go. Hi, welcome to the 1010 Diverse podcast, episode 47, where today we've got between 10 and 15 artists around the world going to feature 1 track each. So coming up first from Arizona, we've got Tim Turner. Could you introduce yourself? Who is Tim Turner and what's the story behind your song Wonder?
Who is Tim Turner? He's a guy who picked up a guitar at 10 years old and never stopped playing. That's who I am. And you know, there's so many influences in my life and music, and I don't know, you know, you look back and you how can you say I wrote these words and I made this melody and I did this lead and I did I would plan, I would be very prepared before I went in the studio, but I was always surprised how things happened in the studio. And I listen and I go, how did that happen? I didn't plan that. So that's the cool thing about music. It just happens and it's hard to explain. But Wonder was a song that I was going through many years of songwriting. I started playing and then I did multi-tracks using cassette players. And I just kept going over the years doing that over and over and over. And then, you know, then I started writing words and then I started singing, and, you know, I was a terrible singer and I just learned to get that right pitch and tone with my guitar, and it just started happening. And it took many years. And I wrote many songs, probably about 60 of them. I've recorded maybe 40, I guess, around there. So I look back at all those years and I can't, it's hard to explain. Why did you come up with those words? They just, I would get up. I always had a notepad because I went through many years of that focused on songwriting. And I'd get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go write words down. It might be many lines. It might be just a few lines. It might be just a thought. And then I developed from there. And I just, song after song after song came out. It just kept coming out until one day I didn't have any more to write. I just sort of got around my 60 and I stopped writing songs. I've heard other musicians say the same thing. They kind of, Billy Joel and others, they would say, you know, I just stopped writing lyrics and I started doing musical, instrumental kind of things. So how do you explain that? I don't know. I don't think any of us can explain it really completely. But Wonder was, you know, have you ever just walked down the street? I was trying to explain the world, how fucked up it is, and things happen and unforeseen to happen. You know, terrible things can happen to us and we don't even know why. And I was trying to write that.
Well, without further ado, let's get the first track of today's show on. It's called Wonder by Tim Turner. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy.
Have you ever just walked down the street, looked around, what did you see? It's about life with strife, it's about love with pain. We accumulate at a high rate, we only think about ourselves. To give away is to lose the game, but the game is already lost. Some look at the storm clouds from a different page. Some see the mountains as a barricade. Tear down the wall we built so high. Take it down a brick at a time. The mother sits and she wonders why her child won't reach 5. An old man, he contemplates what he did with his life. A life is wasted today. Hey, what does that matter to me? Can't get involved, 'cause what it takes, it might take me. I can't hear, I can't see, I can't touch too much. Don't want to know about fate, it's too much to calculate. Some look at the trees just for shade. Some see the honey as what bees make. Tear down the wall we built so high. Take it down, a brick at a time. Tear down the wall built so high. Take it down, a brick at a time.
Wonder by Mr. Tim Turner. Absolutely wonderful dude. Wonderful. So let's do a little round of reviews to see what the fellow professionals think of each other's tracks, because I'm the least experienced person to give a review. Absolutely loved it. Great video. Let's start with Mr. Peter Cook in England, and then Peter Twisong and Forth in South Africa.
Oh, I love this very nice, easy feel. I love the bass on it, particularly, actually. And the sort of modulations of your voice through radio and other devices. Did you record this at home?
No, this was recorded by Steve Krimmel at Painted Sky Studios. So
anyway,
yeah,
I couldn't tell, but yeah. So I love the song. It actually has a sentiment that might resonate with my song later on, but I won't spoil that for the moment. But I saw all sorts of things in there about sort of bricks taking down things one brick at a time. And there were all sorts of international references to things that need to change. So that was what spoke out to me, was the sort of message of the song and the excellent production that you've achieved with your colleagues there. And yeah, I really like the beginning, actually, the little hook that leads us into it. I thought that was a excellent sort of slightly radiophonic type guitar that led us into it as well.
that was a Ovation Legend that had I layered like the foundation, and then I built off that. I used a absolutely mint, and I remember it was available to me. The person didn't play guitar. It was a 1977 Les Paul, and I usually play a Strat, but the guitar was beautiful, and that was that. So it's an Ovation Legend, and that 77 beautiful Les Paul. I did some maintenance and service work on it, and he goes, you can use it, and I did. I used it on that song.
Well said, well said. Peter, what was your thoughts? Peter, the other Peter, actually, Peter in South Africa, and then Farba. See what they want to say. Pete, yeah.
Well done, Tim. The first thing that struck me is you said, oh, well, actually, I don't have a good voice, but you sure made excellent, optimal use of it. it blends in very well. It creates a good narrative. Also, very good production of the song. And yeah, what a lekker vibe. I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Well said, Dave. Farber Kingdom, did you like that song? What did you think there of that song? Yeah.
I think it's very cool bluesy vibe. We like it so much.
Thank you.
It sounds like our favorite bands, Eric Clapton, Doors, and we like it so much.
It's summer vibe. Cool, nice.
Those guys influenced all of us, didn't they? At some level, I think people like that. Clapton, Hendrix, there's so many bands that come from the 60s, 70s, 80s that influenced most of us.
Well said, well said. Can I just jump in? Tim Turner, Steve Andrews, you have been friends for a long time. Steve, you've just missed Tim's section, but I know you heard his song today. So what do you think of Tim's song? And Tim says he's known you for years. So Steve, what's your thoughts there, dude?
Well, I just got in. I just went to the shop. I didn't know all this was happening, so I came in and I saw the message, and so I've jumped in. You know, the song. Yeah, I heard the song. The song is great, and I'm sorry I missed it. Well, anyway, I'm here now. I mean, you know, I don't know. Like, when did the show start? Is it? I'm all over the place here.
It's just the first guest it's been, Steve. So if you send me a YouTube link on Facebook, you can be one of the guests as well. So you've only missed Tim's, but I know that you heard it earlier because I sent you the playlist and I've already seen you've commented
That's okay,
on it.
Steve. It wasn't that big of a deal. You didn't miss anything.
Well, he'll see it back in the recording. Welcome, Kirsty, as well. She's over here in Cornwall as well. She never heard that track either, but she can get involved in the next ones. Let's go Ian, then Leo, then Mike. Ian, what was your thoughts here, brother?
Yeah, I love that track. It had a really nice feel to it. I think there was it was like the rhythm in the guitar was just, it just got into a really nice kind of groove. Just like a little bit funky, but kind of like a mellow vibe. It was just rolling along really nicely. Yeah, I love that. Had a really good feel to it.
Well said, well said. Leo Hagen?
You all
Leo,
are being kind.
Yeah, I listen to music as an art, like paint art. Some people design the art, and some people drop the colors. But I see it as an art, and it's so good art. I love any style of music. I listen to many music, but hip hop is my favorite. But I mixed it in my mind like hip hop rhymes, and it's so good. I really like it, and yeah.
well said, Leo, well said. Mike Armando, what's your thoughts before we get to the second guest of the evening?
Yes, I think it was very creative. It was really funky and soulful. You know, that's the way I felt it. And it was really well put together and thought out. It was, you know, music is supposed to send a message. And I think that was sending a message, a vibe. And I could picture a funky sound. You know, I'm a jazz blues guitarist. I could picture a funky guitar behind that also, playing some notes behind that. So I think it was an excellent video. I liked it a lot.
Well said, Mike, well said. So Tim Turner, thanks for being the first guest, dude. We'd love to have you come back on and feature all your tracks, dude. We can speak about this in private tomorrow or whatever. Tim Turner, until the next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, dude. So our next two guests, we're going to go with Peter in South Africa, then Farber Kingdom in Ukraine, the next two artists, right? So let me just get Peter's song out the road here because it's going to make everyone laugh because it's absolutely hilarious. Peter, Twisong and Four Sons South Africa. Could you introduce yourself and the story behind Everyone's Ignoring Me?
All right. Okay, so my name is Peter. I've got my band Fourth Sun South, but every now and again I also write things that are not for the band or for any of the other bands I play in. And this was one of them. It's the typical thing of, and I guess we are musicians. You have all experienced it. You've written the best song in the history of music, and you send it around and you go back, dude, did you listen to my song? Yeah, sorry, I have not had a chance. And as we all have our days of frustration, in my frustration I wrote down, everyone's ignoring me, no one gives a fuck. Day later, I saw what I'd written down. I thought, there's a song. I think it took me an hour and a half to write the lyrics, write music for it, and record it. And there we had Everyone's Ignoring Me.
Hey, without further ado, it's the first track I've heard of you on your own. It's usually always Fourth Sun South that I've heard your music from, so it's absolutely brilliant. Check this out. Everyone's Ignoring Me by Peter Tosson. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen.
Everyone's ignoring me, no one gives a when I play the lotto, I'm also out of luck. If only I was cool, if only I was rich. Instead I am a dog, and I'll end up in a ditch. I was planning to be famous, singing with a smile on my face. But when we play, they always blame us, making everybody leave the place. Everyone's ignoring me, my only mail is spam. And when I try to speak, no one gives a damn. My mom says I'm handsome, but only to my face. 'Cause when I'm not around, I'm a disgrace. I was planning to be famous, singing with a smile on my face. But when we play, they always blame us for making everybody leave the place. I was planning to be famous, singing with a smile on my face. But when we play, they always blame us, making everybody leave the place. Everyone's ignoring me, no one gives a as if I don't exist. But maybe that's my luck. I wrote this little song that no one wants to hear. Just in case you're listening, bring me another beer. I was planning to be famous, singing with a smile on my face. But when we play, they always blame us for making everybody leave the place. I was planning to be famous, singing with a smile on my face. But when we play...
Absolutely brilliant, Peter. You know, what a smile you've got, what an absolute great voice you have. And you're just inventive as hell, man. So let's do a quick round here. The next guests are going to be Farba, so we'll let them have the last compliment. Let's go ladies first. We'll go Kirsty. Kirsty?
Hello, hey Peter, good to see you.
Hello, Kirsty.
Hello. Do you know what? That was rather theatrical, wasn't it, darling? It's quite a
Yeah.
different spin on your usual genres. I liked it. It put a smile on my face. Love it.
Well said, well said. Mr. Steve Andrews, what was your thoughts here?
Steve
did
is
that-
still muted.
Yeah, sorry, I meant to ask everyone to unmute themselves. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, I thought that was just a fantastic song. It was really funny. It was really well performed. You know, the video, it all worked. It was the kind of thing that everybody could enjoy as well. So yeah, loved it.
Well said. Well
Thank
said.
you, Steve.
Let's go Leo, then Peter Cook.
Yes, if I was in Walt Disney for 100%, I take this song for movie and cartoons or series. It's so good for that, and I really like it.
Mhm.
Well said. Well said.
Thank
Let's
you.
go Peter, then Ian.
I would have not muted the fuck word, but that's why I'm not very good at this, because your reach is much better for putting sheep and other animals in. I love that. I thought that was brilliant. I like the particularly the ending, which was a surprise, because you know, what do you do with the end? You suddenly go a cappella, and sort of several other people enter the stage, and I thought that was a very interesting and surprising ending to it. Very nice, easy song. And actually, although it's not perhaps part of the song, an interesting sort of the soundtrack of your life through the video that you made. Yeah, that sort of piqued my interest as well. But I think it's a really good lyric, really good lyric, and it could easily be a sort of a soundtrack for a Woody Allen film, I reckon.
Oh well, I actually. I did put it on YouTube. I otherwise have not released it because it was, yeah, it was more of a joke. By the way, the whole choir in the end is all me, myself, and I.
I did wonder. Yeah, I did wonder. I wasn't sure. Thank you.
Well said. Let's go Ian, then Mike, and then Tim. Ian.
Yeah, I think that probably most musicians that try and promote their own music probably can relate to that song very much, because yeah, it can be frustrating at times, and it's good to take a kind of humorous spin on it, because you know, you need to be able to laugh about these things. You don't want to get too stressed about it. So I think, yeah, that was cool. Yeah, a great little song. It's just, you know, I'm sure that probably came together very naturally. It had a very natural feel, like everything just sort of fell into place. And it was just great fun. And I love the little vocal solo in the middle, the sort of trombone effect or something, but with the voice. That was cool. Yeah, and the a cappella bit at the end. Yeah, all around it was really enjoyable. Very good.
Thank you.
Well said, dude. Mike, Armando, then Tim Turner.
Yes, it reminded me, it took me back to the 1960s, early 70s of the folk singers back then, Arlo Goffrey and all that. And it had a comical approach, and that's what we need today to laugh. There's so much bad news in the world today. And music is a rough business. There's a lot of people that got beat out of money and everything. And that song was really telling a story about, you know, what's going on today in the music. And at the same time, if you look back at the other folk singers like Bob Dylan and all them, they all had the same type of struggle coming up in the ranks. Like Bob Dylan, he went to record company after record company. They told him he couldn't sing, he had no talent, and you know, the rest is history as we know it. But I think it's a great tune, and it's an uplifting tune, and I think he did a great job.
Thank you, Mike.
Well said, dude. Tim Turner, then Farber Kingdom, our next guests. Tim?
Peter, wow, I'm an acoustic guy. Most of my stuff, rock, blues, doesn't matter what I'm doing. I usually wrote it and based it on acoustic guitar. And there's a lot going on. You know, even the simple music, you know, there's only so many notes, and it's all melodic and it's whatever, it's unique to us. And Peter did that. I really enjoyed it. That acoustic guitar, while it was going on, I'm trying to focus on that. There's all these little ambient, little things he's doing with his right hand. And then at the same time, the vocals are just where they're placed, just where they should be. It's really well done. If you did that at home, I give you a thumbs up on that. I enjoyed every part of it. It made me smile the whole time. I was kind of inside smiling, going, okay, I know the words are kind of negative, but the music is kind of positive. So I think that mixture, for me, I would say you might have done it as a joke. You might have, but it's a nice piece. And I think it's too bad we can't get our music, because that's the frustration, right? That's what you're saying. I think it's a great song. I do my music and I'm not getting any feedback. So today you got good feedback and I really liked it.
All right, thank you.
Well said. Farba Kingdom, what was your thoughts? Did you like?
I think it's a very funny, very beautiful low voice. I don't drink, but I want to drink after this song.
Well said, well said. Well, Peter, you know how much I love you, brother. Until the next time, Peter Twisson, check out Fourth Sun South. And remember, you like it? Yeah?
That I like it. Rich colors, voice, bass voice.
Many colors in your voice.
Yes.
Yeah. Very good voice, very good voice. So, Peter, until the next time, dude, thank you again.
Thank you.
Cheers, man. So, coming up next from Ukraine and Romania, Farba Kingdom, could you introduce yourself and the story behind your song, Vershi Nadi, or you can say the name, I don't know how to say. Who is Farba Kingdom? Yeah.
We play dark wave, electronic music with rock elements. It's dance music with dark wave for clubs, for dance, and I don't know.
So today's song that we're going to feature, why did you write that song?
I wrote this song last year in Ukraine when started the war, and it's our emotion about this situation.
Well, I'm sure everyone's wanting to hear it, and it's a great song. If you've not heard the playlist already, sit back and enjoy Farba Kingdom with, I don't know how to say the Vershi Nadi, but it's obviously no. How do we say?
Correct.
Right, nice one. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen.
Що залишилося ми, дощі в очах цієї втомленої милої землі. Але зберемося падлами знову я співав тобі. Ти пам'ятаєш мій голос, якщо ти зміг. Хай
Absolutely fantastic. What a great song. Parts Kingdom. Yeah, man. So let's, Derek, would you like to say something about that song? Derek, or what's your thoughts? I know you've been traveling there. Derek, did you like the song?
Yeah.
You like it? Nice and short.
Just a minute.
No worries. We'll come back to you, brother. Let's go Kirsty, then Steve. Kirsty, what was your thoughts there, dear?
Yeah, that got me going actually. I like the keyboard there, the synthesizing, and yeah, your voice is very deep and it matched very well. So yeah, it'll be very. I'm gonna check out all your YouTubes actually, and I'm gonna check out all the other music you have because it's quite good having different styles and. Obviously, you don't stick in one box, do you? It's always good to mix it up and add different genres together. And would you describe yourselves as what genre would you describe yourselves in general?
Thank you so much.
Kirsty, their English is quite bad. But it's like EDM rock with a twist, you know. So, but they only speak a little English, so that was very good, very good. Steve, then Peter T, then Peter C.
I thought it was fantastic. It you know, it was kind of like the synth pop that, you know, used to get in the charts. I'm thinking the, you know, bands like New Order and Depeche Mode, and, you know, there were a whole load of bands and they had a whole lot of success with synthesizer pop, and you had that sound perfectly. Fantastic work.
Well said, well said. You can translate it all later. Our next two guests are Ian and then Mike, just so that you know just who's coming up next. It's Ian and then Mike, the next two. Let's go Peter T, then Peter C.
All right. Yeah, I definitely hear the influence of the Euro pop of the, what is it, 80s, 90s. That driving synth bass really makes a song, and your vocals complemented very well. Good theme, kept on being interesting, and a very nice video.
Thank you so much.
Well said, Ed. Peter C, then Leo.
Yes, well, Depeche Mode lives in Ukraine and Romania, I think is what we can say. I'm sitting in front of a great big keyboard here. You can't see it, but I produce electro pop music as well on EDM, as well as everything else. So I absolutely love it, and I loved all those bands that started that genre with machines. So you've continued. It has a great, as Kirsty mentioned, it has a great groove. It moves along nicely. I like the vocal, really low. I don't know what it's about because I'm afraid I don't speak Ukrainian, but you did sort of explain a little bit of that. So I think I'm at a disadvantage for not knowing what it's about. But nonetheless, it's a fantastic tune, and it's well produced as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well said. Leo and then Mike.
I really like the type of this music. I have a friend, he really loved this type, and if he was here, we really enjoyed it. And yes, he did good, and everything was matched together, and you did great. Yeah, and keep going.
Well said, well said. So Mike, then Tim, and then Ian, our next guest. So Mike.
Yes, I think it was very professionally put together. It was excellent quality. You know, I don't understand the language, of course, but you could still, the music speak into your heart and soul, so you could feel, even though you don't understand the language, it's saying something. It's putting out a message, and it was a great tune. I love the synthesizer. Really great work, talented work, and I really enjoyed the tune.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well said. Mr. Turner in Arizona.
Yeah, wow, Farba Kingdom. I never heard of you, but I have today. Wow. I like dark. I know sometimes, you know, you listen to my stuff and it's about life. you're showing what this world can be, kind of dark, and some bad things happen. It's all there. I wish I understood the words, but the video really helped me to, I think I got a good idea of what you were trying to do. And I think it was Peter who commented about I don't fully understand all the layers that you're doing. I need to listen to it again. I do want to listen to it again. And I think that's the compliment. If somebody wants to listen to your song again, because I don't think I could get everything in that one. There's too much going on. I need to listen to it again. I give you a thumbs up. I really liked it, and I'm not bullshitting you.
Double thumbs up. So,
Thank
nice one. Ian, who's in Wales at the moment, what's your thoughts before we get to your section, dude?
Yeah, I was very impressed with that. I think the quality of the track and the video was really high. So that, that could be like a major release put out there. It should be out there in the world with everything else. And yeah, I agree with some of the influences that were mentioned. I think Depeche Mode in particular. I had that kind of vibe from it, but I think you put your own spin on it with like your vocals in particular, because you had the deep vocal and then the female vocal together. That was a really nice sound. And also I think it had a bit of a contemporary edge to it. So some of the sounds were quite retro, but I think it had a sort of kind of a modern vibe as well. So I think that was a nice mixture. So yeah, great stuff. Well done.
Thank you.
Well said, everyone. So, Barbara Kingdom, thanks for coming on the show. Until the next time, we get you back again. Barbara Kingdom, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice one, dude. Nice one. So, coming up next, he's in Wales, but I'll let him introduce himself. Ian Kennard, could you introduce yourself, brother? And what's the story behind your song, Summertime Love?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm in Wales, in South Wales, in the valleys. But I'm originally from North Devon. So in case you wonder why I don't sound Welsh. Well, actually, this track, I wrote this the same day that we did the last show. Like, I find for me, songs just come along sometimes. They don't always come along at the most convenient times, because like sometimes I'll be playing an instrument. I've been doing a lot of gigs lately, so I'm normally just sort of rehearsing for the next gig, and then just a song just comes from out of nowhere, and sometimes it's kind of inconvenient and I haven't really got time for it, but like I don't want to lose that song. So yeah, so this one, it just sort of popped into my head, and I didn't have a lot of time, so I just quickly made that video and put it on YouTube. And all in all, it didn't take more than like 20 minutes, half an hour. But I think when a song is meant to be, it's meant to be. It's there, and it's there, and that's it. And and as for the meaning of the song, I mean, I have to sort of figure these things out myself after it's come along. I think the title, in a way, is almost a bit misleading, because it's called Summertime Love, and it sounds, as a title, that sounds like a sort of happy love song title, doesn't it? But I think there's another meaning to it, which is the idea that summertime love is love that only lasts like for the good times, if you know what I mean. So I think that's the sort of the reading between the lines in this song is, it's kind of, I like things have more than one meaning, or more than one interpretation. But I think that's the general vibe in this song.
Well, you're a fantastic artist, and if you've not heard Ian Kennard's music yet, you're going to love him. Summertime Love by Ian Kennard. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen.
I will not fight you anymore. I'm quite prepared to ignore all of the feelings telling me to hang on to something really sweet, like sunshine washing over me. you anymore. I'm quite prepared to ignore all of the people telling me you only practice to deceive, but sometimes I think I still can see a glimmer of what used to be. But was it summertime love? Summertime love, summertime love, summertime love. Just keep loving, loving, summertime loving. Where does it go? Just keep loving, loving, summertime loving. Where does it go? Where does it go?
Magnificent, dude. Magnificent. Derek, you've not spoke much. Derek, would you like to say something? Did you like that song, Derek?
Yeah, it's actually a good song. I don't know, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. So yeah, I like the song. I actually like the vibe. It's really a good song. Really a good song. Like the guitar is in tune, like the voice, the things that we know. It's nice. I like it.
Well
Cool.
said, dude. Well said. Thank you, man.
Good flow, it's a
Look,
good flow.
nice one. Let's go, Tim, and then Mike.
Him?
Tim,
Okay.
Tim Turner. What was your thoughts here, brother?
Yeah, what my thoughts, you know, music is a little bit trickery and deceiving, especially in the studio with all the different effects and different things and pitch correction and stuff. And I'm a real lover of just live, straightforward, because I get my ear, I'm listening to all what you're doing. And you know, you could turn that into a production and it would be fantastic. But I really love the live kind of sound and the guitar. I don't know what kind, I was trying to see what kind of guitar that is. I'm kind of into that. I couldn't tell.
Takamine.
What was it?
It's a Tanglewood. It's a British guitar. It's not expensive. It costs like £200.
It doesn't matter how much, you know, it's like Gilmour said, David Gilmour and some others, you know, you can play a G chord and I can play a G chord and it's not even going to sound the same. So music is a mystery, isn't it? And that song, the simple stuff is what excites me, and I love it. I'd like to hear it more produced with some different pieces coming on, and you know, but that's a different thing. I see you're more of a live performer. I'd like to see you play live. I would come and see you.
Yeah, come to Wales.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm not far from you, dude. We need to come up to get you live in a gig to watch. That'd be great. Mike, you're the next guest, but let's go Mike, then Leo. Mike, what was your thoughts?
My thoughts has a lot of commercial appeal. I believe a lot of commercial appeal, which is great because it appeals to a lot of people. To me, it hits me like a love song that, you know, it's a happy song. I can feel that, but I think it's well put together. The vocals are great. There's a lot of structure in the chord structure, a lot of chords. And I think he did a great job of putting this together. And I think he's going to have a lot of success, you know, with that type of music, what he's performing.
Yes, man.
Well said, Mike, dude. Well said. So let's go Steve, Leo. Sorry, it's Leo and then Steve.
Yeah, I really like that song, and I have opinion. It's so much better. You make it a studio track and add some more instrument inside, and I think it will be successful song for you. And I really like it.
Thank you.
Well said. Before we do you, Steve, let's do Farber Kingdom. Just a little short one. Farber, do you like Farber Kingdom?
I really like this song, this clean voice, this live performance. his guitar. It's very professional, very cool. Thank you so much.
Cheers, man.
Well said. Let's go Steve and then Kirsty, then two Peters. Steve Andrews?
Well, the first thing I want to say is that, you know, as far as I'm concerned, Ian is a really brilliant singer-songwriter, you know. And this is an example of it, because he can just put the song together like that. The song comes to him, you know, at any point in life, and he has to get the song out. This is how it happens with me sometimes as well. So I understand that. And the other thing that I wanted to say, which I don't think anybody's, well, actually nobody's touched on this, was that it reminded me, I was trying to work it out. I said, I know who it is, David Gates and Bread. And, you know, Bread, they had some like really big hits years and years ago. And it had that quality to it. And so that's the nearest I could get with what it would remind me of. But it would, you know, like a few people would say, you know, maybe some more production on it. If you put the production on it, that could be a Bread song. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Well
I get
said,
what you
Dave.
mean.
You get what I'm saying there? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, that's sort of, because a lot of their stuff is quite sort of mellow and acoustic kind of vibe.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And maybe sort of the vocal range as well is probably similar. So yeah, I can get what you're saying there, yeah. And you know, they've done some great stuff, so that is a compliment, so thank you.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. It was a great song. All right.
Well said. Kirsty, then Peter C.
Yeah, Ian, I really enjoyed that. It's nice to have something, you know, totally stripped back and acoustic. And isn't it amazing how you can just have that little bit of inspiration and you can just grab your guitar and like just create something so magical like that. And for that to be stripped back and acoustically sung like that, it can only be layers can just be added. And like someone picked up on it, it's a commercial track that could really, you know, catchy and take off like a summer vibe track, you know. So yeah, I really enjoyed that, Ian. Great stuff.
Cheers, thank you.
Well said. Peter C, then Peter T.
So who knew that people could sing like that in Devon, Ian? Who knew? or even in Wales. That's less likely, of course. But anyway, no, thank you for that. You've got a wonderful voice, actually. That higher register is, I'm extremely jealous of, frankly. But you've got a wonderful voice. The hooks on it are brilliant. I like the fact that the sort of the verse is not such a set of obvious chords. Really, I could, because they were slightly out of sync. I couldn't work out what they were because your voice was sort of in the frame, and I think the guitar was slightly out. I don't know why. That might be my computer, but I just thought it was a non-obvious verse. Actually worked really well. And I also echo everything else that's been said about doing stuff live. It's easy to fumble and fiddle around with technology, and I do it all the time. But the acid test of anything is if you can just play with one guitar. That is sort of semi-naked, really. Thank you.
Yeah, cheers. I mean, regarding the chords, I don't tend to play like normal chord voicings. I don't really play bar chords that much, and I play a few like standard open chords, but most of the time I just sort of make up my own voicings for things because it just interests me more, and I just think it sounds more interesting.
That's the point. I think it was more interesting. There's 1,000 songs
I'm on
from
the thing.
CG and F, you know, so exactly.
Cheers.
Well said, Peter C. Peter T, then we're on to Mike's section. So
It must be in the name, because Peter also mentioned what a great hook, and that's what immediately sprang out for me. Yeah, the live. Are you planning to record this, let's say, in the more conventional way?
That's a good question. I mean, I've been in bands before in the past, and I've done every kind of music. I've done electronic music and all kinds of things, but I am sort of fascinated by what you can do with just a voicing and a guitar live. It's something that really appeals to me. I mean, I definitely like to make a better quality recording of it for sure. But I'm kind of undecided about whether to start layering it up, because sometimes I like the challenge of like what I can do just with just my voice and a guitar with no overdubs. I think I've got a thing about live performance that it just captures something more, like more emotion. And I sort of like to perform things live. And obviously with a guitar, you don't have a lot of options. It's just, I mean, I used to try and do things with like sequencers and synthesizers and things and just do it all live. I like to do live stuff. So I don't know, we'll see where it goes.
No, you're absolutely right. A good song will stand up if you perform it just with a guitar or a keyboard, whatever. But yeah, I love making arrangements. So I can, possibilities. But well done.
Thank you.
Well said, Peter. Well said, everyone. Ian Kennard, until the next time, brother. One love. Ian Kennard. Thank you.
Cheers.
So coming up next is called Mike Armando, and he's done many things, but he's in a band called Resurrection of Screaming Jay Hawkins. So Mike, could you introduce yourself and tell us about the resurrection of Screaming Jay Hawkins and the song that's in the name as well? Yeah, please.
Okay, I was in, like I said before, Screaming Jay Hawkins band back in the 70s. I was his guitarist. And I'm pretty sure everybody heard of I Put a Spell on You. That was Hawkins's tune that a lot of major artists like Creedence Clearwater, Nina Simone, and I could go on and on that performed that tune. And that tune made it in the number 500 of songs that shaped American music. And I was interviewed by author Steve Bergsman, who wrote the book, I Put a Spell on You, The Bizarre Life of Screaming Jay Hawkins. And he, like my days of performing with him, the crazy days of Screaming Jay Hawkins. So he wrote the book, not just with, my days of playing with him, but with, other people that played with him that crossed his path. So it's a great book, a great read. But when I read the book, I said, maybe there's more to this that should be done. I said, maybe people should, they could watch it on videos, but maybe in clubs and in concerts to hear and see the way Screaming Jay Hawkins performed. So I put this group together called the Resurrection of Screaming Jay Hawkins Band. And it was very tough to find a singer to perform that. So I had a couple of auditions and I finally picked Shakur, the real Shakur Blumfield, which he won in New York at the Apollo Theater award for being a top singer there. So I had him perform I Put a Spell on You. And when I heard it, I couldn't believe how close he did this. So, and he's an actor also, so that really helped a lot. So I put some of the band members, myself, Mike Armando on guitar, Arno Hecht, who was the founder of the Uptown Horns, if you ever heard of them. They're a major group. They backed up many major artists, the Rolling Stones, and when he went on tour with, and so many others, James Brown. And then Andy Gobler is the bass player. Michael Fox is on drums. And, my main music is jazz and blues. I made many recordings and produced many recordings with Mike Stern, Bob Moses, and so many other people. But I formed this band, like I said, Resurrection Screaming Jay Hawkins Band, to keep his music alive. And that was the main thing, because there's so many great artists that passed away and their music is, just fades away. So, I think more people should be in tune to listen to this music and his life. So, we're trying to do our best to keep this music alive.
Hey, it's an absolute treat to hear this, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely brilliant. Resurrection of Screaming Jay Hawkins Band, brought together by Mike Armando. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy this. Brilliant.
No matter where you go, the same damn thing. No matter who you know, the same damn are crying, dying and lying. Everybody's dying. Some are deep, most are cheap, been led astray. Yeah, 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 yeah. No matter where you go, the same damn thing. No matter who you know, the same damn thing. In order to succeed, one must bleed. There are those who are deputized, those who antagonize, those who deflower, black man power, love them, kill them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No matter where you go, same damn thing. No matter who you know, the same damn thing. There are those who smile, those who are vile, people full of friction, people full of addiction. There are those who fumble, crumble, worry, hurry, motion, devotion. And the end result, no matter where you go, the same damn thing. No matter who you know, same damn thing. From a slave to the grave, instead of emancipate, I see isolate. Beware what is unfair. Welfare is a nightmare. Lots of quitters who like the litter. Let's get there. No matter where you go, the same damn thing. No matter who you know, the same damn thing. Instead of pleasing, nothing but teasing. Lots of quitters who like the litter, which should be beautiful, but it's truly pitiful. If we multiply, why we disqualify? No matter where you go, same damn thing. No matter who you know, it's the same damn thing. No matter who you know, it's the same damn thing. No matter where you go, it's the same damn thing. 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 Same damn thing. Same. You're all to blame. It's the same damn thing. It's the same. It's the same damn thing. It's the same damn thing.
Absolutely wonderful, Mike. Derek, would you like to say something? First, you've got a little bit of background noise. Derek, what was your thoughts there on that wonderful track?
I don't know, like the song is I'm not sure to that type of music, but I would say the lyrics are quite good. The lyrics are quite good, though. I don't really like the beat, like, but the lyrics are quite good, and I like the flow as well.
Well, that's, I mean, there's a different time of day for every genre, in my opinion, you know. But yeah, man, it's you can't deny the great music, you know. Barber Kingdom in Romania. What was your thoughts there?
Very great music. I want to dance or drive my car with this song. I like this arrangement and very good song. Very
Power
good.
of
Yeah.
blues.
Well said, well said. Let's go Kirsty, then Steve Andrews.
Wow, what a voice, man. That was incredible. I really enjoyed that. And the video was a perfect touch to that. Fantastic, amazing. I really, really enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Well said, well said. Mr. Andrews?
That was just a bit of time traveling there. I thought that was amazing. You know, it took me back, you know, musically and visually. It was just from another time. Fantastic.
Well said, well said. Peter Cook, what was your thoughts there?
Well, it was obviously a small venue when you played because you had to put the toilet on stage, so that was great. But to be serious about this, I loved every minute of this. It had a great groove. It was just the voice has already been said, so the whole instrumentation, the horn piece that you mentioned, it's legendary type of music. And the video, we're here to talk about the music, but the video, of course, is a great time travel exercise with, I don't know if it is the L trains or whatever it is, but that was an interesting little insert in the thing with the train passing. But yeah, it's just soulful and brilliant.
Well said, well said. Just so that you know, we've got 4 guests left. We're going to go Steve, then Leo, then Peter, then Derek. That's the last 4 acts of the show today. So let's go. Leo, what was your thoughts? Leo, then Ian. Oh, Leo, you're muted there, brother. Sorry, you're muted. Just should pop up. Yeah.
Right. I like this type of song because that's time Tupac was alive. For me, everything I see in hip hop. But yeah, it's so pro and it's so hard to make this song like that for me. But you did so good and so pro, and I really like that.
Well said, well said. Let's go Ian, then Peter T, then Tim.
Yeah, that was very impressive, actually. I mean, the sound and the vibe of that song, it really sort of takes you back to the sort of classic era of R&B from, I don't know, like 50s, 60s, kind of. Even like the sound of the recording, it really had a sort of vintage vibe to it. So that was really well done. And obviously, there are a load of great musicians on that. I mean, you could just tell that, you know, everything in that track. Yeah, just the performances were just really nice, really playing well together, and obviously, yeah, the Screaming Jay Hawkins is going to be a very hard person to replace as a singer, but you definitely found someone who had that kind of raucous power in his voice. So that was impressive too. So like, yeah, overall that was a really impressive track. Great stuff.
Thank you.
Well said. Peter, South Africa, then Tim in Arizona.
Yeah, I watched the I don't know if it's the original, but the video that's out there of I Put a Spell on You not too long ago, and I'm amazed that you found a vocalist that has got that same feel in his voice. I'm going to watch the original video again because hey, I'm surrounded here by a absolutely rock and roll legend. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Well said, Peter. Mr. Tim Turner, before we get to Steve Andrews' section.
I enjoyed that. I try to listen to all the different pieces in anything I'm listening to, the drums and how it's recorded. I am curious, was that recorded live, you guys playing together, or was that recorded sort of layered, different tracks?
It was live at
yeah, that's impressive. That's very impressive. So, the recording engineer, he sure had his stuff together. Everything fits. And I guess that's what we're talking about, whether we hear those sounds and everything is fitting, the levels and all that. And there's no flaws in that song. I just found myself kind of going along with it. And, you know, then I sort of got distracted because I was just like getting into the song. But again, I said it once, I'll say it again. I need to listen to all your music, and you know, more than once. I really liked it. I concur with everybody else. It's brilliant. I think Peter said that. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, if you go on to my YouTube site, you type in Mike Armando. That's my usual music. Mike Armando. But if you type in Resurrection of Screaming Jay Hawkins Band on YouTube and put Alligator Wine, Constipation Blues, you'll see all those tracks on there.
We'll be sure to check it out. You're absolutely brilliant. It's an honor to have you here, Mike. I've been your friend on Facebook for a little while now. Very happy to get you here, dude.
I just have one question. I'm gonna have to get out of here pretty early because my sister she called up. She had a doctor's appointment, and I promised to pick her up, and she's waiting. So I could stay here a little bit longer, then I'm going to have to leave. I hope everybody understands that, excuses me.
No worries, Mike. And see, tomorrow I'll send you a link to an article that will have the full show in it. So if you do miss any, you can watch it later. And I'll also embed all your YouTube songs. So we encourage each other to leave your reviews in each other's YouTube channels as well. That's what you should do, and I'm trying to put it on make it easy for you. So
I appreciate what you're doing for music. You're doing a great job. We need more people like you to keep music alive in this world. And
well,
you're doing a fantastic job.
We're just getting started here, and there is a good team of us involved in this, Mike. And let's bring you into the equation. We'll speak to you more about it later in the week. Mike Armando, for the next time.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me on the show, and thank you, Peter, and everybody else.
Pleasure, man. Pleasure. So coming up next is one of my best friends in the whole wide world, the man with the green beard, Mr. Steve Andrews, the Bard of Eli is his artist name. Introduce yourself, Steve, and I'm going to feature the song Climb Through a Rainbow today. So tell us a story about that, please.
Okay, Sparky, yeah, thank you. Well, first of all, I just got one thing I wanted to say, to Mike, basically, is that we're talking about Screaming Jay Hawkins, and I put a spell on you. And I saw one act that can really do that song well live, and that act is Arthur Brown, Crazy World of Arthur Brown, the God of Hellfire. I saw him doing that song at Glastonbury Festival once, and it was, wow, amazing. So I just wanted to get that in there. And now about my song. Well, and who I am. I am Steve Andrews, singer-songwriter, originally from Wales, now living in Portugal, also known as the Bard of Ely. And Ian has a connection with Ely now, which is something I found out because we were chatting on Instagram, I think. And anyway, I'm a singer-songwriter. I was in Cardiff, which is the city I originally came from, and I was invited to go to my friend Misty Arduin's Nestling's nursery. And she knows, I play guitar and stuff. She said, Steve, maybe you can come along and play a few tunes for the little ones. I said, okay. I ran out of tunes for the little ones. I'd done Old MacDonald and some other stuff. And I was watching, and there was one little boy, and he had like rainbow striped pants on, and he was climbing through this archway, which was like with a rainbow around it. And there were other kind of rainbow toys and stuff. And so this song just kind of came to me, like Ian was saying, songs can come to him. This song came to me, and I'm just glad it did, because I could then carry on with it. And the song was called Climb Through a Rainbow. And that's entirely what it's about. The song was composed in this nursery by watching children climbing through a rainbow, wearing rainbow pants, which is in the lyric, and other rainbow stuff around. And that's it. So it's a song for children of all ages, Climb Through a Rainbow.
It's absolutely wonderful, and I'm telling you all right now, this is the track that's going to be in like a movie before anybody else's, because we've got connections for wegetartist.com, and the guy loves that track and he's actively pushing it towards some big movies in the future. And just wait till you hear it. Enjoy this wonderful track, Climb Through a Rainbow. Everybody's children should hear this song for kids. Enjoy. One love.
It made me stop and look. It was even more magical than a picture from a storybook. Climb to a rainbow, climb to a rainbow, sing a rainbow song. Climb to a rainbow, climb to a rainbow, then you can't go wrong. Climb to a rainbow, climb to a rainbow, build a rainbow tower. Climb to a rainbow, climb to a rainbow, feel the rainbow power. I saw a rainbow in the sky, it made me stop and look. It was even more magical than a picture from a storybook. Climb through a rainbow, climb through a rainbow, build a rainbow tower. Climb through a rainbow, climb through a rainbow, feel the rainbow power. La 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 la. La 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 la. Climb to a rainbow, climb to a rainbow, build a rainbow tower. Climb to a rainbow, climb to a rainbow, feel the rainbow power.
Tell you, man, everybody has to let their children hear that song. Absolutely wonderful, Steve. Let's start with Mr. Peter Cook, then Kirsty. What was your thoughts there, Peter?
Well, it should be on telly, that really, shouldn't it? It's
Yep.
a wonderful, simple tune with great hooks, a great hook, or several actually, but a main great hook and a few others. The lyric is brilliant, of course, and people can produce progressive rock albums with complicated lyrics, which I also love, but there's a great skill in writing a simple pop song. It's a different skill than doing a Genesis album, but nonetheless, there is a skill in doing it. So thank you for that, Steve. I think it was wonderful. I'm wondering if you have done anything with it in terms of commercial interest at all.
No, thank you so much, Peter. And you hit on it basically. Like when I put that song together, I thought this would be a great song for children's TV or a movie for children. And that's where I would like it to go. But it hasn't got there yet, but that's where I hope one day it does get there. So yeah, and thank you for everything else you said about it.
Yeah, thank you.
Well said.
Oh, the video was
Farber,
great. The video was great as well. But
wasn't
that
it?
wasn't not what we're here for. But
Everyone wants their own cartoon with themselves in it.
I just have to do one little shout out. It was produced by Jace Lewis and it's North Stone Studios in Bridgend. So Jace did a fantastic job with it, I think.
Well said. Farber Kingdom, you like?
Yeah, I like this song. I like how you looks. I like these cute animals in a bus. Very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, but well said, well said. I was going to go Kirsty, but she's just vanished. We'll go Tim and then Ian.
Oh, I'm next.
Yeah, Tim, what was your thoughts there on your
A Volkswagen bus with a peace sign. I mean, I'm trying to analyze it. I loved it from the beginning to the end. The production was fantastic. I have seen Steve for years and years, different things he's done. He doesn't know it. We've never met. But we've both been on the internet for a long time with our music, and I've always been a fan of his. And I didn't know this song until today. Really great production. You know, it goes back to what we're talking about, Ian doing his song in a more I mean, you know, I guess the bottom line is how we organize those sounds and how they come together and then how it makes you move. That particular song, there was a different one made me kind of, you know, but that one made me kind of sway back and forth. And I don't know, it's for children, but I loved it. I have no bad criticism about it.
Absolutely wonderful, wasn't it?
Thank you, Tim. And yeah, I mean, there was two versions of that song. There's one, the highly produced one there with the music video, and the other one, As It Happened, in the nursery. And I was also playing a kazoo, by the way, so it was very kind of rough. I'm just, you know, strumming an acoustic guitar. I'm playing a kazoo at one point in it. And it was also, one of the children was hitting a xylophone. So there was like this bang, bang on a xylophone. And that was how it was conceived. How it turned out in the fully produced with a music video you've just seen. And it's two different things, but the same song.
Yep, I understand that.
Well said, dude. So Ian and then Kirsty, what was your thoughts?
Yeah, I love that track. I've seen that video on Instagram, and yeah, that song just makes you smile instantly. Yes, Steve and I discovered that we do have this thing in common around Ely. It's just that the guy that runs the label I work with lives in Ely, and so when he's booking gigs, he tends to start from where he lives. In fact, I did a gig in Ely on Saturday, and that's the place where I do like the most gigs, so it's quite a coincidence, really. But yeah, that is great track. And there's actually, yeah, talking of the production and the layers and things, it sounds like a sort of a simple song, but there's quite a lot going on. If you listen to that track again and just sort of, there's a lot of sort of ambient noises in there, which I really like. There's sounds of like birds singing and things like that. You know, there's all kinds of little things in there. And I also like, there's a point maybe like 2/3 of the way through where it all just kind of breaks down and just, there's kind of that percussive like strum on the guitar, and you sort of take it down a bit, and then sort of, you know, that sort of dynamic variation really sort of adds to the sort of keeping the sort of the interest going in the song. So yeah, great song, very well produced, makes me smile, and the video is great too. Great work.
Thank you so much, Ian. And yeah, all of that work that you've just described is basically down to Jace, my producer. In fact, you know, with the bird song, he said, Steve, how do you feel about maybe some bird song? Yeah, Jace, that sounds a good idea. And basically it fits with me because he knows I'm about nature and stuff. So, you know, all of it was based around me, you know, in the video. You can see there's like an image of me and there's the peace sign and the bus and all this stuff. So it's all something to do with me and my image. And the other thing I wanted to say is I'm really glad to hear that you're doing gigs in Ely, you know, it's fantastic. So, you know, keep spreading the love and the music in Ely. You know, it's wonderful. So
I don't know if you remember venues in Ely, but I was in the Ely Conservative Club on Saturday. We regularly play the Home Guard Club. There's a lot of clubs in Ely, aren't there? There's
That's about all. Most of the pubs they've got rid of. There used to be a lot of pubs there. Okay, the pubs have gone, and you've got these clubs, which is all that's left in a way. I think.
Yeah, like social clubs. Yeah, so we do a lot of gigs in those type of places.
Well, that's great.
Well, it's a small world, isn't it? It really is.
It is indeed. And this is the kind of thing that can happen by being on a top talent Sparky show. When you start talking to some of the other acts, you know, you find out things like this. You know, you find out how small that world is. So,
well said, guys. So we've got Kirsty, then Peter, then Leo, who's also our next guest. So Kirsty, then Peter.
Hey, Steve. Oh, so lovely to see you again and to hear that song. I absolutely love it. It's so catchy, Steve, and I know that Barry at WeGetArtists.com will be pushing that to get that on our screen soon, because it's just full of joy, and kids relate to it, adults relate to it. It's just a well-rounded track, and it makes me smile every time.
thank you, Kirsty. And yeah, that's what I say. It's a song for children of all ages, you know, little children and big children. I'm one of the big children.
An all-rounder.
Well said. Peter, and then Leo. Peter?
Oh, Steve, I've now heard several of your songs, but here I immediately have that. That is really the essence of Steve coming out. What a joy. And it comes smashing out the pleasure that you bear out with this song. Really fantastic.
Thank you, Peter.
Well said, dude. Leo Hagen in Turkey, what's your thoughts before we get to your section?
Yeah, I really like, and it's so good for children and have good vibes, and so good production and so good producing, and yeah, it make me move and bring my child inside out, and I like it, and so good.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much.
Well said, everyone. So, Steve, until the next time, brother, I'll see you in tomorrow's show, because you're a co-host in the Tuesday and Thursday shows. So I'll see you tomorrow, Steve, and one love. Till the next time, Steve Andrews. Thank you. So coming up, third from end, we've got three guests left. We've got Leo, we've got Peter Cook, and we've got Derek as well. So Leo Hagen, introduce yourself, and what's the story behind your song K and Q? Yeah.
Yes, first off, I didn't know about hip-hop music, and when I was in school, I found the cassette, and it was Eminem album, and he be my mentor in music. And this song more about God have plans for you, and it's Persian lyrics, and I singing in Persian more, and sometimes in English. Yeah.
Well, without further ado, this is your first time on the show. Let's sit back and enjoy some Leo Hagen, everybody. The song's called KQ, and it's in Persian, but hey, let's go, enjoy, one love.
Hey!
پردی کنار منظره بشه واضح تر رویاتو به چسبیت تو دیوانه تر وقتشه ببینی لحظه رو عاشق تر چون میدونی تو کل دنیا دو پای دنبالتم و تلو مست چشم و ابروی سیاه شب تو محتابی تو راه تنگ و تاریکی چراغ من یه منظره میسازی صافی شبات مثل روز روشن و تنها دغدغه‌م اینه که با تو لحظه زود گذره میمونه و پر نمیزنه تو روزای سخت داره توی دل روشن مگه راهی که دل میره میگذره بعد برو درسته حتی با دل برو کج ابر خورشید و ماه و این چرخ فلک واسه دل همیشه میذارن دست توی دست تا جا به جا میکنه برات کوه بلند ما یه تیم شیک من اینجا کینگ تو هم کوین چقدر خوبیم یه دست تو جیب بزن یه جیغ که بیدارم و رویا نیه از تو دید زرد جیغ با این که سلیقم سفید یه واقعی یه رویا بین تو پادشاه رویایی و ملکه زیبایی قسم به شعر و ویتامین که عشق و درجا میکردیم ما ستاره رو نور دادیم و گرم و پشت به کوه داریم پس این یه عکس خوب بگیر که زیر زمین تو بوم داریم تکون دادیم این آدم ها رو پشت بنز و بوگاتی نفس تو سینه حبس وقتی ثروت تو پول دیدیم همه جا پر میشد تو چشم و فقیرای پول تو جیبی نیازا میخرن همشو پس حتی مجانی من تو سواحل یک کیهان دیگه پرسو قرار شد تو آخر دنیا رو بگیریم و دلمون شد جهنم اگه با تو باشم میشه سر پاشم گل و بلبل انرژی و من از تو دارم و بیا بقیهشو پر کن مثل خوب و بگیر بردو باز کن اینجا ایست کنیم بسر رو یه جور بنویسش که پر سفید داریم یه فست تو غز یه فست تو خرج یه فست میپرده نینجایی بزن یه نبس که بره بالا خط واسه فردایی تو بدم علامت اونی که عروضش میزنه خط بعد تاریکی ها روزای روشن تنها امیدی که میمونه تو قلب دیگه چی از این بهتره بخوای نخوای میگذره ساعت رو 5:05 بعد این رنج و گنج حد داره دنیا فقط دو تا دست داد بسه ازت پنون کنم چی تو محرمه همه رازی ندارم میچه رازی غمو بذار تو پلاستیک پلی رپ کلاسیکن و بگم تو جالب باسی بده موزیک ساده را تیک دستم و یه لیوانم شیر کاکاو نظر رو باز تو کادو باستم مینه چکرول داره قدرت تلپورت که هر جایی برم از هر چیزی بگم از هر موقع دلم یه عمر رو توی شب خلاصه میشه کرد در بازه با یه ضرب و زنگ میخورده تلفن صدا اونیه که دل و برد پای قهوه هستی یا نپتون بگو کامیونیکیشن بورد بکش جکوزی بگو که پرش کنن شیر هرچی که خواستی و بنویسش توی این لیست فضا مزایی یا دعوتم به صرف وید انگار تو جنگل و لیستم با دنیای ما شیرینه اینا رو مشه درون تو قصه ما جاریه زیر گنبد کبود از سچی بود پلوم با خنده سرد گرم بود تو تاریکی یا شم بود ابر و ماه و خورشید و فلک به نفع من بود هرچند سخت بود بعضی روزمون شب انقدر پر شدم مهم نی کجاست این پولای نفت خدای ما هم بزرگه ترس نداره برامون مکنه وسط کوچه یه جوونی هم فرتکان سیپتتی بالا میسن میرم بالا یه فرشته و تو صفحه جب جایی من هرچی تاله باز از خیلی یاد فانت اینجا پادشاه هم خدا یاده با من و سوار بادم اگه توفان بشه دیگه ترسی نیست مهمین راهی که دلم بنده کیست اگه این داستانی باشه فلسفی با اگه میشه فلسفه تو فانتزی ملودی خیس با یه حرفام خوب بشین با هم دیگه ما خوب بشین این دفعه تو خوب بریز واسه من یه جور دیگه بنویسش سر تا پا پرستیجش دست خودتو میبوسه هرچی اینجا شدنی مرز پشت مرز رو که میکنی تو رد از این نبر بالاتر میشه سرزمین من دست کم نگی رویا تو زنده میشه کرد پس من نه روزم و میخونم عاشقون رپ
Leo Hegan, everyone. Absolutely wonderful. Fantastic track. Brilliant, honestly. I wish I knew the words, but I love the track. So let's go, ladies first. We'll go Kirsty, then Farba. Kirsty?
Hey Leo, that was brilliant. I really enjoyed that. It's so nice to have so many different genres on this show and to hear why people wrote their tracks. And obviously being international, having people from around the world come together. That was a great track to end the show. Really enjoyed that. I'm going to check out all your YouTube. tracks as well. So yeah, you got a fan in me, 100%.
Thank you so much.
Well said, but there's still 2 tracks left, Kirsty. So don't yeah, there's still 2 left. Let's go Farba, then Derek. Farba,
I don't
understand,
please, but I like this energy. I like this rhythm. It's good vibe. Very good vibe.
Well said, bro. Derek, what's your thoughts here?
It's a good song. I would say the lyrics are quite good. I like the flow as well. It's actually a good song. I like hip hop as well, so I like it. It's nice.
Well said, dude. Well said. Nice one, brother. Let's go Steve and then Ian.
I thought that was just, I really just liked the song because of the energy. It didn't matter about whether I could understand, you know, the words or not. It was the energy of the song came over to me and I was moving about to it. I was grooving to it. Fantastic song there.
That's appreciated. Thank you.
No, you will. You probably saw me. I'm really just moving to it.
Bopping. Nice one, well said. Let's go Ian, then Tim.
Yeah, I really like that. I think it's true what Kirsty said, that having so many diverse, different kinds of music on the show makes it so interesting, because I think it's like the contrast when you go from one style of music to another. It really sort of opens up your ears and you think, wow, what's this? It's something different. It really sort of helps you to almost like hear things more because of the contrast. It sort of wakes you up a bit. So I think, yeah, that was a great track. I liked the backing track. There was some sort of Eastern sounding kind of melodies going on there, and I like that aspect to it. There's something that is an influence on my music sometimes, probably not the things that I've played on the shows, but I do sort of delve into those sort of Eastern melodies sometimes. I just find them interesting, so I like that. And then, yeah, the vocal performance was amazing. Yeah, really, really impressive. I mean, I'm not really a rapper myself. I tend to stick to sort of what I do, but I work with a lot of people that do rap music, and I am sometimes involved in like production and stuff like that. And I know that to perform like that and to sort of spit out all those lyrics in that sort of rhythmic pattern and stay completely in time with the track is actually very hard, and people spend years trying to master that. It's a lot harder than it sounds. So very impressed with that. So yeah, great track, well done.
Thank you.
Well said, Ian. So Tim Turner, then Peter T, then Peter C, who is also our next guest.
Yeah, Ian did a good job on describing that. I go back a ways. I've been listening to rap music for a while, and it's a funny thing. I was good friends with DJ Ready Red from the Ghetto Boys, and we were going to collaborate and do some music together. And it just shows you, I'm more folk, rock, blues, and he's doing rap. But as the years went by, he started getting more into jazz, like what Mike, kind of that song that Mike did earlier. And I practiced probably, I've been playing 50 years, but I probably practiced 10 years to play live. And the thing that Ian was bringing out is if you can do a 6-minute song and you don't fluctuate in your tempo, and you can do that live, and I did that many times in the studio, your guitar doesn't fluctuate, nor do your vocals. That's not easily done. I think people don't realize how difficult that can be. I don't care how simple it is. It could be G, C, D song. If you can do 5 minutes and you have that tempo from beginning to end, that's something special, at least for me. And that's what Leo did. His vocals, I was kind of going, is he going to drop the ball? Is he going to be able to keep this up? And he did. He did his vocals of what I was focusing on, and I thought it was fantastic. I liked it a lot.
And thank you so much. And I really like to mix it, rap music with jazz and another type of styles, even rock. Yeah, it's will be more interesting.
Can't wait to see what's next. Peter T, then Peter C.
Yeah, I love this mix of beats together with this well, what we call Eastern melody, but as everyone said, the vocals, the flow and rhythm of the vocals was very impressive. Well done.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Peter Cook, our next guest also.
Yes, I've been helping a Turkish vegetable shop owner at the moment. He's getting a lot of racism for the local council. Unfortunately, I haven't learnt any Turkish or Persian as a result of this conversation, but nonetheless, and therefore I'm still at slight odds as to what the meaning is. But that's not the main point. I think I'd be better off if I knew what you were saying. But in fact, you can enjoy it without that, actually. And I think the rapping has already all been said. I can't do it. People think it's easy. It's not easy. It takes years of perfection to get to that level. And I think it motors along really nice. It's got a good groove. It's got a good acoustic guitar hook and all the things that go together to make a good song. So I think it was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well said, Peter. Well said, everyone. So, Leo Hegan, until the next time, brother. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Cheers, dude. So we've only got two guests now. We've got Peter Cook and then Derek Sakatari. So, Peter, could you introduce yourself and the story behind your song, Aloe Vera?
Right. Okay. I used to be a scientist. I got over it. I wanted to be in the Beatles. All the jobs were taken. By the time I got to 18, I decided to work in pharmaceuticals, and then I have been self-employed for 27 years. But I figured out that actually a lot of business and management, which is what I do in the daytime, can be summed up by rock music or any form of music, actually. So I go to companies that had lost the power of reason and explain business and management to them through the medium of Madonna, Motorhead, Eminem, and anything else that starts with an M, really, which I'll stop there. That's what I do in the daytime. But I also write songs. And for the last few years, I've been somewhat obsessed with this word. And since we have an international audience here, I think I'd better explain Brexit in about 12 words really quickly, or maybe just 3, because this is what's happening to our country. Help! You know, so Brexit's sort of destroying our country in the same way that Trump has been destroying the States and populism all over the world. We now think we're a tiny island. So that's the Brexit part of it done. I wrote a satirical song about Brexit from the point of view of someone who voted for this in 2016, because it's been a long time since we've been trying to get this done. And now they have what they call in marketing buyer's remorse. They know it's a pile of shite, but they can't tell anyone it's a pile of shite because they would lose face over that. So I've written this song in someone else's point of view, sort of headlights, really. So the song is that, and another apology to our international audience. This contains a lot of 1960s quintessentially English metaphors and, you know, kiss me quick hats and various other things that won't necessarily make a great deal of sense to anyone else that's outside of Britain. That's a good thing, actually. That's a really good thing. Finally, it's the thing we will understand. This is a football pastiche song. So it is an original song which I wrote, but I wrote it and stole ruthlessly from all the genres of Football's Coming Home and all those songs. Didn't just repeat them, but sort of worked them into a new format. So it tells the story of someone who's really fed up about Brexit, but he can't tell his mates down the pub. Away we go.
Well, without further ado,
Oh, it also features Vera Lynn, who died just 3 weeks after I released the song, and everyone said I had to take the song back because of it. But I'm not a fortune teller.
Oh, man. Without further ado, Aloe Vera, Brexit's Coming Home by Peter Cook. Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll meet again. Don't know where. Don't know where.
Vera Lynn. Don't know where you have been. I've been fighting Brexit with Victory Gin. Soon we will be fruit picking, 'cause we are the Brexit fishermen. It's coming home, it's coming home. Brexit's coming home, and the nurses are going home. Que sera, sera. What will be, will be. Some will live, some will die. But I've got a passport, a coin and a tie. While Boris tells another pork pie, I just leave the snowflakes to cry. From Nigel Farage to Bobby Moore, 48-52, we need a score. After Corona, we want more. It's gonna be just like the war. It's coming home, it's coming home. Brexit's coming home, it's coming home. I'm home alone and my hair I cannot comb. It's coming home, it's coming home. Brexit's coming home, it's coming home. I'm home alone and I can't afford a scone. Brexit! 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 I'm not a Ramona. We drink the Corona. We are doctors, nurses, scientific persona. We are the Brexit land army from Verona. We fear no ill, for we have Bajona. Hello, Vera. Oh, God, blimey. We're going to take back control of old Blighty. The M20's blocked all 90. But Bulldog Spirit's going to make it all righty. If you just take off your 90. It's coming home, it's coming home. Brexit's coming home, and I got Corona in a care home. It's coming home, it's coming home. Brexit's coming home, and I can't afford a scone. It's coming home, it's coming home. Brexit's coming home, and the nurses are going home. It's coming home, it's coming home. Brexit's coming home, and I'm home alone, and my hair I cannot comb.
Well done, Peter. That's a very, very, very British track. It won't mean a lot to other people, but hey, what a wonderful, wonderful track, man. Let's start with the British artists here. Let's go Ian, then Steve, first of all. What was your thoughts there?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is something I guess we all lived through it in Britain, and yeah, it was kind of a sad episode in British history, unfortunately, and it was also a very divisive time, and it's quite disturbing in many ways, and I think it does help to have a bit of a laugh about it, because when something is a bit painful in a way,
crying.
yeah, exactly. So it definitely does help. But I remember that there was a lot of propaganda flying around at the time and on social media, and people had to sort of fall into one camp or the other, and people would unfriend you if you
I've been attacked by a Metropolitan policeman. He spray painted my house. I've been punched, all sorts. You wouldn't believe it. But I live in a very difficult area.
Well, yeah, it was so divisive, and people sort of were quite passionate about it, and there was a lot of argument. And actually, it's sort of a shame to say that Wales as a country was very pro Brexit, which I always found ironic at the time, because Wales used to get a lot of money from the EU. Like most of the roads in Wales were built with EU funding, so I could never really understand it. But I think the propaganda just tapped into a lot of people's fears, and sort of riled everyone up. So I can remember speaking to people in work about it, but my opinions weren't very welcome. So it was a difficult situation. But yeah, I mean, it was. So I had to have a wry smile at that track, but also, yeah, so much British culture was absorbed into that. I mean, I totally got that. I mean, I guess I get all the references because I've lived through it all. But yeah, all the sort of football anthems, totally got that. But it wasn't just that. I couldn't even list all the aspects of British culture that were absorbed into that one track. But there was so much. But yeah, it was very, very enjoyable, certainly. So great piece of work there.
Thank you.
Well said, Davis. And it turns out that was the last track, unless Derek comes back. He's just not. I think he's on a phone. I thought he was going to lose his signal there. So let's go Steve, then Tim, then Peter, then Leo, and then that's been the show is finished.
Well,
Mr. Andrews.
Okay, and Peter, first of all, I'd just like to say that I agreed with everything that Ian said, and I just like to try and list some of the things that, from the British culture that he didn't come up with, but I was thinking of like the postcard humor, the seaside postcard humor with the nightie and all this kind of thing, and the peep show kind of idea, and the old Carry On films, the Carry On comedy films, and all the other the comedy series, the British, a lot of which wouldn't be allowed these days. I know that they would just be said, this is offensive, we can't have that on, and so there was a lot of that, a lot of this British kind of comedy feel to it, and the football anthems, and I can remember some of these. I think I said maybe on your YouTube, said Top of the Pops, but maybe not. I can remember there being football anthems that were on Top of the Pops, making it all the way to the top. In one case, I can't remember the name of the song, but maybe it was Football's Coming Home, something like that. But this stuff used to be like, very big as a pop hit song, but with the lyrics, and maybe like poking fun at Brexit, maybe not. But the other thing I wanted to say is, because I'm living in an EU country, and over here in the EU countries, the Brexit has caused like disaster for us. For example, if I want to post something to the UK now, it has to go through really complicated bureaucracy. It's going to cost me a lot more, and it's probably going to take a long time, and the same vice versa. If I order something from Britain now, from Amazon.co.uk, or even from my own publisher, it takes ages to get here, maybe 2 months to get here. You have to pay like an exorbitant fee on top of, the delivery charge. And then it gets stuck in customs over here. Then you have to fill in another load of bureaucracy, pay a customs clearance charge. Okay, all of this thanks to Brexit. So thank you, everybody in the UK who voted for Brexit. You've made my life so much happier and so much easier now.
Just to follow you on that, I don't sell books abroad anymore because I can't be asked. It's too difficult.
Yeah.
so I don't bother. I'm at an age where it perhaps doesn't matter that much. But to follow your point, I don't actually blame the people who voted for it. I blame the people who sold them the lies. Because the only result of this, and it's not a politics show, I'm going to stop any second now, but the only result of this 7 years on is a few people have got very rich out of it, and every other bugger is still wondering what it is, including the rest of the world. I used to travel a lot, and they always say to me, "What are you doing?" Anyway, good.
That's crazy, man. Tim, then Peter, then Leo, and Derek's come back. Derek's got a beautiful track to end the show with, actually. I've been ready to feature him. So one Tim and then Peter.
I live in the mountains. I'm way up in the mountains in Arizona, sort of isolated. I don't know. I kind of left the world and came up here and retired, and we live in paradise. We have about a half acre, and I kind of stay out. You know, I keep up in the world. I don't know. My grandfather was English. He's from United Kingdom, Britain, but I don't know much about the politics. That video educated me, and I was really focused because I don't understand all of that politics and what's going on. I can't understand what's going on here in the United States. So, how can it educated me. But beyond that, beyond the subject matter, Peter, that was well done. I mean, there's a lot going on. A lot of the drums sound fantastic. You wrote your ass off on that. I mean, that's a lot of lyrics to write and make it work. I came off of, I enjoyed it. I don't fully understand all the politics. That's okay, because I did like it very much. Very talented. I'm surrounded by some talented people, and I feel a little bit humble. But I will say, living up here and being kind of separated from, I live in a small town. I'm surrounded by national forest. I literally takes me 2 minutes to get in the middle of nowhere. I'm in wilderness. And so sometimes I kind of push that politics and other things off. But it got me thinking. And like I said, Peter, it was kind of educational for somebody that doesn't understand the politics over there. So thank you. I enjoyed it.
Well said, dude. Peter T, then Leo.
Yeah, we've been, of course, in the past years, we've been following the whole Brexit and been amazed how the money laundromat of the world managed to come up with reasons as to why the EU should not interfere into these money laundering and which resulted in Brexit now, because now the Bank of England, the City of London can still do their thing in whatever they want. And you see now that the English people or the British people suffer. But of course, it's actually not because of Brexit, it's because of Corona and the money crisis worldwide, which only the British suffer from. Anyway, well done. I thought it was very amusing. And my condolences, commiserations for going through this.
I was in South Africa not long ago, just before the lockdown, and I was there a few days, but I managed to get a piece in the South African Business Daily, and I suggested now was the time for anyone that wanted to have a piece of the UK. We had a fire sale on, so I said, go and get whatever you want, because it'll all be cheap. And it is, that's true, actually.
Well said, Peter. So, Leo, what was your thoughts there before we get to Derek, our final guest of the evening? Leo?
Well, in politics songs, sometimes something make you angry and something make you sad to make these songs type like that. And I don't know you about Iran politics, and many people run in another country and they love to live in England and live in another country. Like me, I run from Iran to Turkey to living because government have problem with me. I have many politics songs. Yeah, like that. It's feeling. It's coming inside your heart and come inside your mind, and you give your feeling about that. And yeah, you have so good country in England. It's so have democracy. People can do everything and have they are more free. And in Iran, you know how the government do with women's and many musicians and artists. They all run from that government. And I hope everything will change in good way in all the world, not only England or Iran, all the world. We are humans and we are people. We know each other and we are same. We have eyes, we have ears. We can have peace together, and that politics makes it different.
I must agree that we're still relatively better off than perhaps in many parts of the world, and you have Erdogan, but we're heading in the same direction is the point I'm trying to make. Perhaps not as extreme a way, but there we go. Thank you.
Well said, Leo. Well said, everyone. Thanks, Peter, for being a marvellous guest. It's the second appearance on the show. We love Peter to bits here. What a great addition to the panel he is. Peter Cook, everyone. Until the next time. So our final guest of the evening, Derek. Could you introduce yourself, Derek? Who is Derek Sakatari, and what's the story behind your song Love Equation?
Okay, my name is Derek Sakatari, and I come from Zimbabwe. So currently I'm in Ireland. So yeah, love equation. Love equation. It is a great story behind it. You know, there's certain challenges that I faced myself in trying to love people. You know, trying to be kind to people. There are certain things that I like, certain challenges that I faced, and I actually came across I say like it's like a podcast that's really helped me a lot on how I can better myself in terms of love. That so I got to understand that people right now, like, people have problems. People are going through so many things. So sometimes, like, you don't have to take everything to heart, like whatever people do to you. Sometimes people can be very nasty to you, but you don't have to take it to heart, you know. And once you have mastered that art of forgiveness, you can be very good in loving people. So that's why I wrote this song. It's all about like how you can love people, how you can properly love. Just tell people that yeah, you're gonna be offended. People are gonna say bad things about you. People are gonna say things that maybe you don't like, but you shouldn't stop loving them because I'm a Christian and I believe we are called to love. So no matter what people do, we have to love them. So that's what the song is all about, basically. Like what I was saying, that sometimes people are gonna hate you, sometimes people are gonna offend you, but just forgive, move on. You know.
Well said, dude.
So that's what it's all about.
Right, let's sit back and enjoy the final track of the evening. It's absolutely beautiful track. Wait till you hear this, ladies and gentlemen. Love Equation by Derek Sakatari. Enjoy.
Greater Life Music. Love Equation. What is love? What is love? Tell me now, 'cause I don't know. What is love? What is love? Tell me now, 'cause I don't know. Is it chatting? Is Is it texting, yeah? Teach me now. Cause I wanna know. Is it smiling, yeah? Is it laughing, yeah? Teach me now. Cause I want to know. Love is not love until you give it away. Then you know that's love. Love is not love until you give it away. Then you know that's love. Sometimes people are gonna hurt you. Sometimes people are gonna offend you. But forgive and move on. Even the ones that you love the most, when you need them the most, they'll turn their backs on you. Even the ones that you love the most, when you need them the most, they'll turn their backs on you. But trust me, the world is very sick today. People have many problems, yeah. So just love. The world is very sick today. People don't know who they are anyway, yeah. So just love. Love is old love until you give it away. Then you know that's love. Love is old love until you give it away. Then you know that's love. Tell me now, teach me now. I wanna know what is love? What is love? What is love? What is love? What is love?
Love equation. Right. Derek Sakatori. Awesome. Let's start with Leo, then Peter Cook. Leo?
Yes, I listen to this song and it comes to my mind. It can be have potential and go inside market, and I really like that type of songs. And you must keep going about that, and you can see yourself in Billboard in future if you do good like that.
Well said, Leo. Well said.
Thank you.
Peter C, then Peter T.
Yes, a lovely piece. I hope you can hear me there, Derek. Lovely piece. Completely understated after the raucous assault on the senses that you had before. So it's a really nice way to end the programme. Now we are ending it. But actually, I heard bits of very jazzy Prince things going on in there, which I love, and all sorts of great stuff, plus a beautiful vocal that you sang, and just a really good groove and a beat to it, and it should be successful. The question is, how are you gonna? What have you done with it? Have you released it yet?
Yeah.
You have. Okay.
I've released it. It's now available on every music platform.
Okay.
Nice.
I shall find you on YouTube and see if I can share it then. When Sparky sends the link round. But yeah, thank you.
There's also a video live recording as well.
Oh, is there? Okay.
Yeah, there's also a video live.
All right, splendid. No, I'll share that, and of course the others that are on the program. But I really like that. It's just nice, smooth, easy stuff to listen to, and it calls us to a greater purpose, which I'm afraid my song doesn't. So it's the antimatter of my matter. So that's great.
Well said, Peter. Peter T, then Tim Turner.
Derek, what a beautiful voice you have, man. And one thing I absolutely loved was those little guitar lines going through. all over a great beat, a very good production, sound all along very good. So yeah, I enjoyed this very much.
Well said, Peter. Well said, dude. Yeah, you're muted yourself there. So Tim, Ian, then Steve, our final three compliments of the evening.
Yeah, there hasn't been a piece of music that hasn't moved me today. And, you know, we're all being kind to each other, and I get that. We don't want to tell anybody that their music sucks, but that's not the case today. I have been surrounded by so much talent. Derek Sakatari. Oh my goodness. Zimbabwe, Ireland. Isn't Zimbabwe somewhere else? It's not in Ireland, right?
No, I'm in Ireland.
He's
So-
studying in Ireland, Tim. He's studying in Ireland.
I made some notes, and I wish I had more time, because like earlier, Steve, I never told Steve that his song reminded me of Ringo Starr. One of my favorites, Yellow Submarine. And boy, that, you know, I meant to tell you that. I'm looking at my notes. But Derek, I got a feeling you love people. And in music, there's no borders. Look at us. We're all from different parts of the earth, but the music is totally universal. There is no border for us. And this is my first experience here doing this, and I'm quite impressed with all of you. But you're crying out. To me, if the music isn't moving me, then I kind of, you know, a lot of times I won't even listen to something all the way through. But you're crying out, expressing yourself in a way that actually worked. And I don't think people realize sometimes that's not so easy to do. Sometimes it happens by chance, like I spoke earlier about the studio. Sometimes things happen, or I'll be playing lead and I'm like, I didn't know that I did that. It just sort of, it's a creative thing that happens when you're around other people. My music didn't take off until I got involved with other people, and your expression worked. And you know, you're crying out for that love, and I felt it, buddy. I felt it. You did good.
Well said, dude. A big smile on his face now. Ian in Wales, then Steve in Portugal.
Yeah, I love that. By the way, my cats have decided to make an appearance in this show. They didn't want to be featured in the last one, but that's something about this show they want to be in. Yeah, I mean, so many good things to say about that. Definitely got a lot of commercial potential. So I really hope that, you know, that track is successful. I really hope that you can get it out there to the world, because I'm sure people will love it. The production was really nice. I mean, like sometimes I sometimes think that the music is a bit like medicine or something. Like if you're in a certain mood, you sort of need like a certain kind of music that either fits your mood or it helps you in some way. And I think there's a lot to be said for something that's got that kind of vibe that is just so kind of chilled that it just it kind of relaxes you right away when you listen to something like that. So I definitely think that was really cool. The production, yeah, lovely little guitar lines, just nice and clean and smooth, and the beat and just everything, and plenty of space in there as well to let the vocal kind of shine through, because yeah, you've got a lovely voice. And I think more than just that, I think the emotion came through in your voice. I mean, I think sometimes the challenge of being a singer is that you want to do a good performance, but sometimes focusing too much on the performance can mean that could mean that. So, sorry, my phone's ringing. But it could mean that you almost lose the emotion a bit. So I think you had a really good balance there between a great vocal performance, but you also, I could feel real emotion in your voice. So yeah, I really like that. I've had a few phases myself, and soul music is something that I have done, and it's not that easy. I mean, it's people when they do karaoke will often have a go at a soul song because they think, oh yeah, I can do that. But it's such a fine line, soul music, to get the sort of the passion in there, but kind of have enough control to sort of keep it musical. And I think you just did that perfectly. So yeah, great stuff. I hope that track goes a long way.
Thank you.
Well said, well said. Peter before Steve, and then and you go, Peter, jump in.
Yeah, can I just explain why there are not just one cat, but two cats here today? I stood a cat for election in 2019. It didn't come last. So they've been drawn to me. That's it.
Well said, dude. Steve Andrews has usually got cats all over his laps. There's Leo's cats here. Steve, what's your thought there, brother?
Well, yeah, Sparky, you're right about the cats. There was one of the cats was here earlier, but she's gone out. The other cat's in the other room, and the other one, which isn't mine, doesn't live here, but he's here every day. I don't know where he is, but anyway, the music, Derek, I thought it was just wonderful. Your vocals are wonderful. The production, your fantastic production, and and there was a commercial sound to it. So it's the kind of song that I could hear. It could be on the radio. It could be a really successful song. But what it needs the push to get it there. So whatever you got to do to get it pushed out there so that, it ends up on the radio. And, that's what, I wish you all the best with doing that, because it's a fantastic song you got there.
Well said, Steve. Well said, everyone. Derek Sakatari. Thank you, brother. Thank you for coming on the show. Until the next time. Cheers, dude. Thank you. Right, so I'm just going to